as a stay-at-home parent trying to get started teaching online, all of the steps and things to do might seem pretty daunting, and it's not. So I wanted to compile them all into one video for you, the step-by-step guide on how to become a stay-at-home parent to successful online teacher. So let's go. Hey, I'm Allison from OnlineTeacherAllison.com, and I teach stay-at-home parents how to teach online so that they can earn an income from home. So I realized that I have all of the steps to start teaching online kind of just scattered everywhere, and that's not helpful to you. So I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide to go from being a stay-at-home parent to a successful online teacher. So step one, well, the first thing is you got to decide that you want to do it, because if you don't want to do it, then you're not going to be successful, because online teaching really does require the drive and desire to want to do this. It does take some initial work to get started, and you're going to need to be able to put that in. All right. So once you know you want to do it, step two is to decide where you want to teach online. And if you haven't done that yet, I have a free download to help you. It'll match you and your experience, whether you have a lot or none or a little, to the best online teaching platform for you and your skills. So there's more than just experience in there. It's a one-page PDF download. It's a flowchart. It'll be quick and easy to match you to the best platform for you. You can get that at OnlineTeacherAllison.com/platform. So let's say you've decided where you're going to teach. We're just going to call it online learning, online platform, because it's different for everybody, okay? Once you've decided you want to teach there, I want you to make sure that you are a good applicant for them. And what I mean by that is make sure they hire teachers from your country, because that PDF, if you're in the US, then yes, they hire from the US. But if you are outside the US, like South Africa or the Philippines, then you want to make sure they hire teachers from your country, because some do and some don't. So just kind of make sure on that. So one, make sure they hire in your country. Two, make sure that you have all the minimum qualifications. Some require a degree, some don't. You don't want to waste your time applying if they require a degree and you don't have it. If they don't require a degree, they may require a TESOL certificate. You can get that easily online. I'll have it linked for you below, and you can do that while you're waiting to get all set up. So there's a couple different things you can do there. Make sure you grab it. It'll help get you started. My best suggestion to you is to make sure you apply to a couple different places. Most online teachers don't put all of their eggs in one basket, and it's just smart practice. So for example, my very first platform as an online teacher was VIP Kid, and that is where most of my eggs were. I did teach on other platforms like GoGoKid, and that might have been it at the time. So the thing is, I put all of my eggs just about in the VIP Kid basket. I didn't like the GoGoKid lessons, so I just mostly stuck with VIP Kid. And it was great until it wasn't. So this is why online teachers tend to kind of scatter where they bring in their income, because in October 2021, the Chinese government changed some laws that basically said a lot of things. But one, their students couldn't learn English from foreign teachers, so us. If they did learn English, it couldn't be during weekends or school holidays or after a certain time in the evening. I don't remember what that time was. And it also said they couldn't learn from for-profit companies. So essentially, GoGoKid shut down overnight, Magic Ears shut down overnight. VIP Kid is still going, but it's not like it was before. They are on an upward trend from what I've seen, but it's not where it was. So overnight, hundreds of thousands of online teachers lost their income. So I recommend you kind of scatter your platforms for that reason. One, and two, because you don't know which one you're going to like the most, or which one is going to work the best for you, or which one is kind of the best all around. So now I teach for a company. I tutor small groups math, but I don't teach for them during the summer. They have very few opportunities available, and I'm not always available myself at those times. So I am kind of diversifying my income by finding other platforms to teach on. Currently, I teach on Cambly. The pay isn't great, and I don't love the lessons. So I'm looking for Cambly alternatives, and so I am currently applying to a couple different places, and I'm going to keep you guys posted on that. So kind of make sure you apply to different places. You don't know who's hiring and when. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get through, and this just kind of helps you kind of spread those seeds. So that you are hired on as quick as possible. There's always a very large boom in online ESL lessons over the summer, which is coming very quickly. So you want to get started. So once you kind of applied, I don't know, to 2 or 3 places, you want to set up your teaching area because you're going to use this through the application process. I do have a free download that helps you set up your online teaching classroom in your home. And it covers everything from your technology to your background to things you need to like doodads and gadgets. And you don't need all of it, but if you want to shop for it, it's great. You can grab that at onlineteacherallison.com/setup. So a quick example for me, this is actually wrapping paper. These alphabet letters I got in the dollar spot at Target. It's really great, like Memorial Day-ish and a little after. If you keep an eye on the Target dollar spot, they usually have classroom stuff. This came from the dollar spot too. So did this. This was a free download off Teachers Pay Teachers. I just printed it off on regular paper. And I just had this lying around. So don't spend a ton of money on this. All of this total was probably $20. So I didn't spend a lot of money and I've been using it for years. It moved with me. So don't spend a lot of money on it. You can also get photography backdrops on Amazon. That is what this one is. My picture everywhere. That's actually a photography backdrop that I use. It's at my parents' house. So when I am traveling, I have somewhere to teach. Those run about, I don't know, 30-ish bucks if you can find one you like there. Once you've decided you want to teach online and picked your platform, decided that your platform is hiring you, and apply to a couple different places, and you've set up your classroom, now it's time to start with kind of your hiring process. So whether your platform has answered you or not, there are still some things you can do. So one thing you can do is take a great profile picture, and I actually have a video about that right here, how to take an eye-catching profile picture, because that's what's going to stop the family scroll, the learner scroll, right? They're going to scroll through a sea of faces and you want them to stop on yours. So I have my tips right here in that video. So once you've taken your profile picture, you can create your introduction video. Now this was so intimidating to me because I didn't want to sit in front of the camera and record myself. How ironic is that I do that now like every week, at least one video. So I also have my tips for an introduction video here. Now, some people say, hi, welcome to VIP Kid. But since you don't know your platform, you don't have to say that. You can just say, welcome to my classroom. You can keep it pretty generic while also being very welcoming and bringing them into your classroom and letting them feel comfortable with you as a teacher. It's kind of the second thing they look at after they look at your profile picture. Once you are in a platform, the hiring process will vary depending on what you've picked. Some want a demo, some want like a mock lesson, some don't want any of that. It really just depends. Once you've gone through their process and you started teaching, you want to set up your profile on that platform. So for instance, in VIP Kid, within my profile, I uploaded a profile picture, an introduction video, plus a couple extra photos to just kind of talk about me. This was all like a spot for it. So yours will look different. This was VIP Kid. And there was also a space to type. And there wasn't a ton of characters, so I kept it pretty short. It was basically, hello, here's my brief experience. I've had blank years of classroom experience, this many years of online experience. I'm excited. You would say something like, I've had 9 years of experience babysitting or in Sunday school or mentoring children. You would say all of that, whatever you have, or you have your own kids and you've taught them XYZ. Put a great, positive, truthful spin on it. Think about what you would want to see for your child taking online classes from you and what would make you hire yourself. So that might not even be there. Again, it depends on the platform. And then lower, there was room for like a resume-ish kind of thing where you can put relevant experience. So make sure that your profile is set up so that when parents do start looking, they're not looking at an empty profile. They want to see you and they want to see that you've put effort into it. All right. So you've decided you want to teach online. You've found your platform. Your platform is hiring you. You've applied to a couple. You've set up your classroom. You've done your profile video. You've done your profile picture, your introduction video, you're hired, your profile is set up. Now let's get to our first classes. Your first class, you will be nervous. I can't sugarcoat it. I was nervous, but it gets easier very quickly. So your first class, you will be nervous, but you're going to be as prepared as possible because you are going to look at the materials ahead of time and decide how to teach it. And if you can, bring in some props. On top of props, you might want a reward system. A lot of companies talk about this, and some teachers go all out, but that was not me. I stuck with my single star. I had big plans of printing out more stars. This is just glitter cardstock that I printed out. You could cut it with scissors. You could, use printer paper or construction paper, but this is glitter cardstock that is well loved. And I just held up a star. You get a star. Good job. You could also magnetize or Velcro it and have something in your background where you stick them. Most teachers stick with 5. I just got lazy and have 1. But I do recommend some sort of reward system. It kind of, 1, gives a break, and 2, it's fun. It gives them a reward, right? It lets them know they're doing a good job. And with the reward system, find some props. I really suggest things that are relevant to the lesson, but you're not always going to have things on hand that are relevant to the lesson, and that's okay. One thing I used was this. This was never a vocabulary word I taught. I never taught specifically microphone because of the lesson. I taught it because it's my prop, and we used it to share turns to talk. So this is like an example of something you can bring in just for like across the board to help kind of with the profile, with the prop count per se, because some have a prop count. They want you to use 3 per lesson. Go Kid did, and I never had any of the props. Another one you can do is have just like a generic puppet. This is not generic. This is Dino. He was VIP Kids mascot, but it was just generic at that point because I could use him for every lesson ever. So you can bring some fun things in to help break up class and help you be successful and rock that lesson so that student number 1 or 5, while you're still learning, wants to rebook with you. Recurring students that book with you over and over again, will be your bread and butter as an online teacher. So you want to try really hard so that they come back, and then you can kind of dial it back a little bit. But don't dial it back so much that you're bored or that your face just says you don't want to be there, because my face has said that before and I got bad feedback for it. So just keep that in mind. So as you get new students, you will get better. Now, when you are just starting out, there are some catastrophic mistakes you can make, and I have that linked here as well. And they're not so much catastrophic, they're just costly because some online teaching platforms will charge you if you miss a class, and nobody wants that. VIP Kid, if I just forgot about a class, like I slept through it or I forgot to log in, they charged me $10, and that was a lot of money for missing a class. I made more money if I got on and I just taught it. So these are your costly mistakes you can make. I want you to at least peruse it while you're waiting to get hired, because it will help you kind of plan your scheduling, because your scheduling will either be your savior or the death of you, and you really want it to work with you and not against you. And that was one of my mistakes, is I let it work against me. And once you are all in and you maybe don't have as many bookings as you want, but it does take time and you're getting there, I want you to let me know, because I love to hear your success story. So shoot me an email, onlineteacherallison@gmail.com, and just let me know you're successful. I would love to put a little blurb up here for you and let everyone know and give you a shout out, okay? I hope that's helpful. If you have any more questions, shoot me an email again. I am happy to answer them for you, onlineteacherallison@gmail.com. I have a new video every week, but while you're waiting, go ahead and check out this one, Online Teaching Application Secrets. It's going to help make sure you get hired, and it's going to actually help you through your hiring process. All right. I can't wait to see you next week. I hope you're having the greatest week ever, and we will chat soon. Bye.